Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. Open your eyes. Not literally. Deeper. Because what you're looking at right now isn't just a phone screen. It's your personal cinema. And the film you're watching is called My Life. Sounds like a metaphor, right? Then why does everything you feel right now change what happens to you an hour from now? Why does anger create conflict, while gratitude brings gifts from the world? Why can one wrong person crash into your life and destroy your entire trajectory, while one random decision can rewrite your fate? Skeptics usually say, it's just thoughts, self-suggestion, coincidence. There are no parallel branches. Okay, then let's go deeper. Quantum physics has already said it plainly. Reality isn't fully defined until attention is directed at it. The double-slit experiment, quantum superposition, particle entanglement. These aren't poetic fantasies. They're laboratory results. The observer affects the observed. So what does that mean? It means your point of perception creates events, not the other way around. Now imagine this. Every day you play the same role. I'm tired. I'm ordinary. I'm a victim. I'm a controller. I'm the eternal savior. Your brain performs you like an actor performing a character. Now take professional actors, people who for 2 to 6 months don't live their life but someone else's. They breathe differently, think differently, sleep differently, feel differently. And what does the universe do? Exactly. It reads that as a signal. Aha, the observer position has shifted. Switch the branch. That's why after deep roles, actors either transform completely or fall into eerily similar events, or their fate starts following the same script as the film. Coincidence? Fine. Then let's look at facts. There are too many to call it random. The Truman Show. A movie where a man lives inside an artificial world, not realizing his every step is a show. Every neighbor is an actor. The sky is just a dome. He lives as if it's real, but his entire life is a set. Now look at what happened to Jim Carrey after that role. He stopped being that cheerful guy. He became someone who, in interviews, says, Jim Carrey is not me. He's a character. I don't really exist. There's only perception, consciousness, observation. He started painting. He withdrew. He stopped chasing fame. He exited his matrix exactly like the character did. Only for him, it wasn't acting anymore. It became his new assembly point, a new branch. He stopped being that cheerful guy. He became someone who, in interviews, says, Jim Carrey is not me. He's a character. I don't really exist. There's only perception, consciousness, observation. He started painting. He withdrew. He stopped chasing fame. He exited his matrix exactly like the character did. Only for him, it wasn't acting anymore. It became his new assembly point, a new branch. And then, pay attention. His sleep started breaking. He barely slept. He took medications to calm the inner swings. He said he couldn't switch off. Even after filming ended, the observer position didn't return. Reality reshaped itself around his internal state. Chaos inside, chaos outside. Isolation inside, loneliness outside. So again, coincidence? Or does a role become reality if you truly live inside it? Robert Downey Jr. When he got the role of Tony Stark, he was broken, addictions, a ruined reputation, a career collapsing. But on screen, he played a man who also fell through alcohol, pain, darkness, and returned as a hero, confident, brilliant, untouchable. So what does Robert do? He starts playing that hero in real life. He quits addictions, rebuilds his career, gets married, becomes a mentor to others, signs multi-million-dollar contracts. He didn't just act the role. He entered it as a new version of himself, and the universe responded. That's why he became more than popular. He became a symbol of transformation. Now let's talk about love. Here the statistics get almost ridiculous. Because so many on-screen couples eventually become real-life couples. Tom Holland and Zendaya. They played a couple in Spider-Man and became a couple in reality. Kit Harington and Rose Leslie. Romance scenes in Game of Thrones, marriage in real life. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And then she became Mrs. Pitt in real life. As if the universe is saying, oh, you're living inside that role? Then you'll get it in life too. Joaquin Phoenix, after Joker, changed his lifestyle completely. He avoided interviews. He went into silence. He focused on animal rights. He stopped eating meat. He stepped away from the Vanity Fair. The role changed him from the inside. Anne Hathaway during Les Miserables went so deep into the character that she lost weight, stopped sleeping, and later said in interviews, "This wasn't acting. It was like living through the experience, and I came out different." Jamie Foxx, after playing a character who saved someone, months later saved a man from a burning car in real life, and he said, "It felt like déjà vu, like I was supposed to do it." What you've heard so far is just a drop in the ocean. Actor stories only look louder because their lives are visible. But these coincidences, these fusions with a role, these reality branch switches, they happen thousands, millions of times every day. They're just not happening on a stage. How many films have been made based on true events? How many people have written books, and years later their life literally repeated the plot they wrote long before? How many stories have you personally seen where someone said, "I don't want to live like this," and their entire life changed after that point? This isn't magic. It isn't mysticism. It's observation. It's clarity. It's a new branch. Neurobiologists have described this effect for a long time. When a person thinks about something every day, their brain gets rewired. New connections form. A new behavioral logic starts running. We don't just repeat thoughts, we become them. And then people say, "He just changed." No, he moved into a different branch. He started playing a different character. And he became it, like an actor, like a writer, like the director of his own life. We're used to seeing people only on the stage, lights, smiles, interviews, the beautiful result. But you don't see how they got there. You don't see the sleepless nights. You don't see the moments when someone doubted themselves, lost faith, got thrown to the side of the road, stood in emptiness and didn't know if tomorrow would bring anything at all. You don't see that, and you think it just worked out for them. But where does a new life begin? With honesty. A person sits alone with themselves and says, "I can't live like this anymore." And in that moment, they write the first sentence of their new reality. And this isn't only about actors, it's about you and me. When you look at the world from pain, you tune into pain. When you search for deception, you find it. When you search for light, it appears. This isn't blind optimism. This isn't just smile and everything will pass. This is the mature choice of the observer. An optimist isn't naive. An optimist is someone who understood that attention creates reality. They can see the horrors of the world. They can understand how the shadow works. But they choose to live on the branch where the sun shines brighter. Not because it shines everywhere, but because that's where they look. Now listen carefully. If someone tells you you just don't want to see the truth, answer this. No, I'm simply choosing my truth. A truth where you are free. A truth where you are not a victim. A truth where you are the creator. Practice. How to write your reality branch. This is a simple practice, but if you do it honestly, it will retune your life. Day 1. Rewrite yourself. Take a sheet of paper and write by hand. I'm tired of living someone else's life. From today, I begin my own script. This is the reset point. This is a command. This is your overwrite. Day 2. The new character. Describe who you want to be. Not what job you want, who you want to become. What is your character like? What thoughts do you carry? How do you behave? How do you respond to challenges? How do you move? How do you look? What do you believe in? Become the director of your new role. Create it. Days 3 to 10. The life script. Every day, write 1 or 2 paragraphs in first person. Today I live on the branch where. where you are calm, confident, loved, free, full of energy, doing what you love, not in the future, not I want, but already. Today I live on the branch where that's how you create a new frequency, a new wave, a new vibration. Days 11 to 33. Don't slide back. Choose the branch and go to the end. From day 11 to day 33, you continue. You don't ask questions, you don't look for signs, you don't wait for a miracle. You just keep writing. Every day. One line or a whole page. It doesn't matter. What matters is that your neurons lock this in as your new form. Your brain has a rule. What you repeat for 33 days becomes your identity. This isn't esoterica, it's neurophysiology. So write every day through day 33. Even if you don't believe. Even if you're tired. Even if nothing seems to happen. Because the system rebuilds slowly. And then suddenly. Remember, every word you speak is code. Every thought is a command. Every action is a choice of a branch. Choose consciously. Live as you want. And may your new reality be not a copy of someone else's, but a clean expression of your soul. Thank you for being on the channel. I wish you awareness, inner clarity, and all blessings. Bye, and I'll see you in the next video.